back in court.
The two major decisions that could be made right here this morning concerning the fate of Michael Dunn, who's already been convicted of attempted murder.
Plus, gunman on the run, why Jacksonville police weren't notified about a taxi driver found shot dead in his cab until the day after he was killed.
And sore loser, or speaking the truth.
Like, this is a coward's way out, in my opinion. This is a coward's way out.
Why the owner of California Chrome wants horse racing rules changed after his thoroughbred lost the chance to make history. 23 minutes of nonstop news, weather, and traffic is straight ahead.
Action News This Morning starts right now.
Live coverage you can count on. This is Fox 30 Action News at 7.
Hey, good Monday morning to you out there. Not a bad start to your work week here at 7 o'clock. Thanks for joining us, folks. We take a live look outside from our tower cam. I got to tell you, we were talking about California Chrome. Did you watch it over the weekend?
Absolutely.
Oh, you didn't?
I failed.
It's amazing. Even my father-in-law came over. Everybody was like, you got it on? You got it on? Everybody was glued to a horse race, and it was disappointing.
We were at the soccer match and had to stop off to catch it on the monitor there.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody was out there.
Oh, and then when he went far right, it was just such a heartbreaker there. All right, well, at least it's a sunny Monday morning for you so far. I'm Lindsay Gardner. Thanks for waking up with us here at 7. We're going to begin with your first alert forecast with Garrett Beatonbaugh, tracking that heat and humidity and a chance of rain.
You can really feel it when you step outside, and we'll also see some showers and thunderstorms, typical for this time of year later on this afternoon. But as we take a live look on our first alert Skycam network at the Jacksonville airport, looking just fine here this morning. Ground stop at DFW if you're heading towards Dallas-Fort Worth right now due to some storms. You want to check your airline carriers for any delays or cancellations there. But this morning we're going to be doing just fine with our temperatures. A little muggy though. But First Alert Doppler HD is scanning the sky as we speak right now and not finding much. Again, that'll be a different story this afternoon as we head into the early afternoon and evening hours as well. But temperatures 70s right now, 73 in Fernandina, 72 for you in St. Augustine, and 72 degrees in Brunswick. So hour by hour for today, we're tracking nice conditions to start off with, but hot and muggy and scattered thunderstorms this afternoon. Time now for a check of your First Alert traffic.
Yes, let's first of all take a look here at I-10 at Stockton Street. We're giving this a green light right here on I-10 at Stockton Street. You are moving up to speed in this area. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the traffic maps and see what's going on the road as you make your way in from the beaches. On Beach Boulevard westbound from 818 to Southside Boulevard, that is a 15-minute drive. And on Atlantic Boulevard westbound from 818 to Southside Boulevard, that drive will take you 16 minutes. On US 1 in St. Augustine at State Road 16, you're moving at 33 miles per hour in that area, so that is just a little bit slow. I'm Julie Morgan from the Safe Touch Security First Alert Traffic Center.
All right, Julie, the man accused in the murder of 17-year-old Jordan Davis is expected in court in about 2 hours. Russell Colburn joins us live from outside the Duval County Courthouse with the two major decisions that could be made in the case today. Russell?
This morning, lawyers for Michael Dunn are expected to argue to have his sentencing for 3 counts of attempted murder be delayed until after his retrial in the killing of Jordan Davis. Dunn was convicted back in February for the attempted murder of Davis's 3 friends, who he shot at 2 years ago at a Southside gas station after an argument over loud music. He faces a total of up to 60 years in prison for those convictions. The first-degree murder trial for the death of Jordan Davis ended in a hung jury, and with the judge declaring a mistrial, now his defense team is motioning to delay his sentencing until after the retrial. Dunn may have to take the stand for his account of what happened that night. Dunn's lawyers say that testimony, which could help reduce his sentence, could work against him at the retrial. Meanwhile, Davis's family says they're ready for the case to move forward. In fact, the 17-year-old's mother posted a tweet Sunday night. It reads, quote, "I pray we move forward for closure," end quote. Michael Dunn is scheduled to appear before a judge at 9 a.m. Action News' Leslie Corsi will be in the courtroom, bringing you the latest on CBS 47 at noon. For now, live downtown, Russell Colburn, Fox 30 Action News.
Russell, thank you. We are waiting to find out the cause of death for a man whose body was found in the dunes at Ponte Vedra Beach. His body was discovered Sunday morning near a home that appears to be under construction. Deputies believe it had been there for a few days. They could not say if foul play was involved. It's 7:04, and right now, Las Vegas police are interviewing more than 1,000 people after what they are calling an apparent murder-suicide pact that targeted 2 police officers. Our Don Lopez is following what police are now releasing about the suspect's ties to a hate group.
Well, Lynn, 3 people were shot and killed Sunday, including those officers during that murder spree. While investigators have not released a motive, they believe the gunmen were white supremacists who targeted police. According to police, a man and a woman shot and killed 2 patrol officers while they were having lunch at a CC's Pizza in Las Vegas. Officers Alan Beck and Igor Saldo were both killed.
It's a tragic day. It's a very, very difficult day.
Police say the suspects grabbed the officers' weapons and ammunition before running off. Alvaro Lopez says the 2 confronted him in the parking lot.
They had a backpack and I saw their gun in their hand, and he just told me to tell the cops that it was a revolution and he had just killed 2 cops inside CC's.
Police say the suspects then stormed a busy Walmart across the street where they shot and killed a 3rd person inside the front door.
And then that's when you started seeing people running, yelling like, run, run, somebody's shooting. It's not.
Witnesses say SWAT teams and officers swarmed that store within minutes. The sheriff says the suspects opened fire on police before turning the gun on themselves in an apparent suicide pact.
Preliminary, it appears the female suspect shot the male suspect, then took her own life.
Last night, police searched the home of the suspects looking for clues. Officer Beck leaves behind a wife and 6 children. Officer Saldo, a wife and baby. In a statement, Walmart expressed its, quote, deepest condolences to everyone who's been affected by the senseless act of violence. CC's Pizza says the company is saddened by the tragedy and is keeping that location closed as the investigation continues. Mike and Lynn's.
All right, this morning a gunman is on the run here in Jacksonville. Police say someone shot and killed a taxi driver inside his cab on the north side this weekend. Action News' Jesse McDonough is live at JSO headquarters. And Jesse, neighbors say they couldn't necessarily make out the gunshots because of the thunderstorms in the area.
Yeah, Mike, neighbors told police they couldn't tell if those were gunshots or thunder and rain from that storm, and that's why police still don't have a description of that suspect. They are currently still looking for that gunman that's on the loose. That taxi driver that was murdered was 43-year-old Stuart Carson. He was found bloody in a Gator City taxi. Neighbors called JSO at 7:40 a.m. Saturday, but police say it could have happened Friday night.
But you can understand it was a lot of thunder, a lot of rain going on last night, so what they thought were gunshots. So I wouldn't say that they wouldn't come out or they just refused to. I'm not sure that they knew exactly what was going on.
All right, we just lost her live shot right there, but another gunman is on the loose after shooting someone in the arm on Sunday afternoon. Jacksonville police say a man drove up to this victim on Moncrief Road, said his name, and then fired 3 or 4 shots. The victim is expected to be okay. Now, he told police he didn't recognize who shot him, but the car was white.
It is 7:08 right now, and we have new information this morning on the fan that fell more than 40 feet from the stands at Everbank Field during Saturday's USA men's soccer match. We checked with UF Health this morning, and 24-year-old Joseph Queedy is still in critical condition. A member of a local soccer league tells us that Queedy had a second surgery on Sunday. Doctors say he is not paralyzed. Jacksonville police say a witness saw Queedy running up the stairs at the top of the section of 244 and then trying to stand on top of a chair. When the witness looked back again, the chair was folded up and Queedy had fallen 42 feet to the second-level concourse. Police say he did not appear to have been drinking at the time of that fall.
Lawmakers expected to finalize a bill to fix delays in care at Veterans Affairs hospitals. Local Representative Kareem Brown will be a part of the House committee hearing on the scandal. Top administrators are accused of secret waiting lists that caused deadly delays in veteran care. The VA admits at least 23 veterans died from those delays. 2 of them were right here from our area.
A deputy shooting in St. Johns County remains under investigation this morning. The suspect is a St. Augustine man who's accused of threatening a St. Johns County Sheriff's deputy who then fired his weapon. 43-year-old John DeSanto was flown to UF Health early Sunday morning. Deputies were first called to Sunrise Boulevard to investigate a stabbing. They found an injured woman and DeSanto. They say he was carrying a large fighting-style knife and refused to put it down. That is when Deputy Tom Bogger opened fire. The 10-year veteran is on administrative leave, which is standard procedure in an officer shooting. We are told the woman's injuries are not life-threatening. As for DeSanto, we dug into his background and we found he's been arrested 13 times in the last 13 years in St. Johns County alone. He is has been accused in a slew of crimes from aggravated battery to fraud.
Right now, drivers in St. Johns County are being warned to use caution. The Florida Highway Patrol is monitoring a wildfire near I-95 and State Road 207. Deputies say it might affect visibility due to possible smoke in the area.
Now, your first alert forecast, Jacksonville's most accurate.
And we'll have westerly winds today, so hopefully that smoke will be blown out into the ocean there. But first alert Skycam network today showing across Duval County some nice conditions here. It'll be muggy as we see temperatures going to the lower 90s, and it'll feel hotter than that with those heat index values into the mid to upper 90s. But our first alert boat and beach forecast for today. The surf 1 to 2 feet along the coast, 5 to 10 minute burn time. Surf temperature now 81 degrees. And if you're heading on your boat, southwest winds out there 5 to 10 knots, 2 to 3 feet with the waves. Next high tide 6:27 p.m. and the next low tide at 11:33 this morning. Your hour by hour forecast for today goes to the lower 90s. Showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, back down to the mid 80s by early this evening. Your time now is 7:11. Time for a check of your first alert traffic.
Let's take a look here at the FDOT traffic cams. This is on 95 at University Boulevard. We are giving this a yellow light right in that area. It is starting to get busy. Now let's go to the maps and take a look at the travel times as you drive through this area, 95 northbound from Butler Boulevard into downtown. That'll take you less than 10 minutes. Now on the north side on 95, this is 95 northbound at MLK Parkway. You're moving at 58 miles per hour. I'm Julie Morgan from the Safe Touch Security First Alert Traffic Center.
7-Eleven new this morning. CSX officials in Pennsylvania are working to clean up a train derailment in McKeesport. 12 cars jumped the tracks on the bridge late last night, and now some train cars are dangling over the bridge. Only a chain is keeping them from falling right into the river below. Fortunately, no one was injured, but officials do say there is a lot of damage to the tracks.
Secretary of State John Kerry is speaking out for the first time in the release of U.S. Army Sergeant Bo Bergdahl on Sunday. Kerry says he is standing behind the exchange of 5 Guantanamo detainees, expressing confidence they will be monitored closely and the conditions of their release will be honored.
I'm not telling you that they don't have some ability at some point to go back and get involved, but they also have an ability to get killed doing that. It would have been offensive and incomprehensible to consciously leave an American behind, no matter what.
Sergeant Bergdahl is currently recovering at a U.S. military hospital in Germany. When he's stable enough to travel, he'll be taken to San Antonio Military Medical Center.
An attack at Pakistan's busiest airport leaves 28 people dead. Officials say militants disguised as police guards stormed the building Sunday night with grenades, machine guns, even rocket launchers. Many of those who died in the 5-hour siege were reportedly security personnel. All of the attackers were killed.
Right now, Canadian police are searching for 3 inmates who escaped from jail using a helicopter. Police in Quebec believe the men are armed and dangerous. They do have gang ties and are facing murder charges. This marks the second jail escape in that province in a little more than a year.
Authorities in South Korea say the owner of the ferry company involved in the sunken ferry disaster killing hundreds is now a fugitive. Prosecutors say the man is hiding out somewhere in South Korea and that he may be getting some help. Authorities now want to prevent him from fleeing to China or elsewhere. The ferry owner, along with members of the ship's crew and captain, face criminal charges in connection with the disaster on April 16th. 288 passengers, mostly high school students, plus crew members, died in that ferry when it sank.
Well, this morning, actor Tracy Morgan is showing some signs of improvement, but still in critical condition after a deadly weekend crash. This is according to his publicist. The actor was critically injured on Saturday in this crash on the New Jersey Turnpike. Morgan underwent surgery for a broken leg on Sunday, along with a broken nose and several other lacerations. Comedian James McNair, on the left right there, died. 2 others were injured. Police say a Georgia truck driver driving a Walmart semi failed to slow down for traffic when he slammed into the back of the limo bus that Morgan and the rest of his fellow comedians were on. They were just coming from a comedy show in Delaware. Now that truck driver is now facing multiple charges.
And a horrific crash site there. Well, donations are pouring in for the student who stopped a gunman at Seattle Pacific University. Last Thursday's shooting killed 1 person and injured 3 others. Police say the rampage stopped when 22-year-old John Mize tackled the suspect. The shooting happened just 2 weeks before Mize's wedding. People wanting to show their support shared his wedding registry online. By Friday, every single item had been purchased. What's more is it it didn't stop there. Someone then started a crowdfunding campaign to pay for his honeymoon. The goal, $5,000, and at last check this morning, it has already reached nearly $48,000. The suspect in that shooting, 26-year-old Aaron Ibarra, police say he is not a student and they do not know why he targeted that university. They do believe he acted alone and planned to kill as many people as possible.
It has now been 3 months since a Malaysian jetliner disappeared, and relatives of those aboard Flight 370 are now forced to make a new push to find their loved ones. They launched an initiative on Sunday on the crowdfunding website Indiegogo. It's an effort to raise $5 million that they hope will go towards the investigation and rewards in finding that missing airliner. Flight 370 vanished on March 8th with 239 people on board. A multinational search was postponed in late May.
Today, President Obama is expected to announce even more relief for those with student loans. A White House official says a new plan will explain the criteria for an alternative repayment program. Monthly payments on certain federal loans would then be capped at 10% of a borrower's overall income. An additional 5 million people will qualify under this expansion.
In the meantime, Florida Governor Rick Scott is hitting the campaign trail this week, tackling the issue of college costs and tuition hikes. Governor Scott is expected to sign a bill to stop universities from raising tuition up to 15% a year. However, the bill would still allow the University of Florida and Florida State University to raise their tuition rates 6% a year.
And a big talker here this morning, as we mentioned at the top of the show, the Belmont. Well, the co-owner of the racehorse California Chrome is still upset over his loss at the Belmont Stakes and loss at a shot of the Triple Crown. Well, now he's going as far as to say horse racing rules need to change.
Not fair to these horses that have been in the game since day one. I look at it this way. If you can't make enough points to get in the Kentucky Derby, you can't run in the other two races. It's all or nothing. Like, this is a coward's way out, in my opinion. This is a coward's way out.
Only 3 horses that raced at Belmont also ran the Derby and the Preakness. Now California Chrome is headed home to recover from a foot injury. California Chrome finished 4th despite being the overwhelming favorite. Many hoped he would be the first to become a Triple Crown champion in 36 years.
Want to be the best, you got to race the best. Some of the money from the sale of Los Angeles Clippers is going to a charitable foundation. That's according to sources close with Clippers co-owner Shelly Sterling. About $200 million will be spun off into a charitable foundation that Sterling would run. The charity will target underprivileged families, battered women, minorities, and inner-city youth. Sterling, along with her husband, agreed last week to sell the team to Microsoft CEO Steve Ballmer. Now, Donald Sterling was forced to sell the team after an audio tape leaked of him making racist remarks. He was also banned for life from the NBA.
7-17, the Miami Heat have tied the series in the NBA Finals. LeBron James scored 35 points and 10 rebounds and has bounced back from cramps in the victory over the San Antonio Spurs. Chris Bosh made the go-ahead three-pointer with 1:18 remaining on the game clock. Tony Parker scored 21 points and Tim Duncan added 18 points for the Spurs in their loss. Game 3 will be tomorrow night at 9 in Miami.
Hundreds of families are still without power this morning after severe weather knocked down trees and power lines. At one point, more than 4,000 people were left without power on Sunday. Our cameras caught damage and debris right off State Road 19 near Silver Lake Drive. One family's graduation party had to end early when storms came running through.
We all ran inside and it just kept coming and coming and coming. The wind kept getting worse.
The family says they got inside just in the nick of time. Their tent blew right into the trees, though, and branches came down, hitting their trucks.
The Humane Society in Nassau County has some serious cleaning up to do after this weekend's severe weather. Right now, the dog park is closed because of these downed trees. The Humane Society is losing money during the closure and has to also pay to remove all of this debris. The executive director was surprised by the damage.
I can't believe that this much could happen in just one storm overnight. It is a shock.
That's what a microburst can do there. Now they hope to reopen the dog park by Wednesday.
Now, your first alert forecast. Jacksonville's most accurate.
More damage also reported in Callahan in Nassau County from trees down, but First Alert Doppler HD not showing anything here right now. That'll be a different story by early this afternoon and into the evening. As we zoom on down to street level mapping here in Duval County, nothing going for us here this morning, but we will see some of those daytime showers and thunderstorms. Southwesterly and westerly flow off the Gulf, giving us humid conditions today. Storm complex to our north and west will stay there and give them some severe weather across parts of, say, Mississippi today. First Alert Skycam Network at Fernandina Beach looking just fine here this morning. Nice conditions to go out and do anything outdoors today, except it will be humid. 71 is the current temperature at Jacksonville, and 75 on the south side, 72 on the west side, and 76 in Mayport right now. Hour by hour through today, lunchtime, we may be getting a speck of rain starting to get going here associated with that sea breeze. But as we go through the afternoon, you can see here as we have around 3:30 p.m., we do see some of those scattered in nature showers and thunderstorms, some of them producing heavy rain and gusty winds and all of that lightning. Yesterday in Putnam County, you had a big thunderstorm there move through, say, Palatka. But as we head overnight, those things will calm down and we'll get them going again here for your Tuesday. Hour by hour through today, 84 by the 10 a.m. hour. 1 o'clock, we expect the lower 90s again. It'll feel warmer with that heat and humidity. 95 to 98 is what we're expecting the heat index to look like here this afternoon. And by 3 o'clock, the lower 90s as well. The coastal areas, of course, a little bit cooler today. 86, 74 for the overnight low tonight from St. Augustine to Mayport on our AccuZone forecast. As we go to the metro area, 93 for today with that isolated and scattered in nature showers and thunderstorm threat today with a low of 71 overnight tonight from Jacksonville down to Orange Park and Green Cove and even Nocatee as well. Inland zones, here we go. Waycross to Hilliard to Sanderson, 94 degrees. A west wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour for today. So here's your First Alert 7-day forecast. We expect those muggy conditions through today. 93 degrees for the daytime high. In the next 7 days, that thunderstorm threat will continue on. Your weekend always in view here on the 7-day forecast. 90s before that on Wednesday and Thursday. Afternoon showers and thunderstorms definitely still persisting on throughout our forecast. And Father's Day, look at that, 91 degrees. Looking fine, but you'll have to dodge those afternoon showers and thunderstorms, of course. Again, you can always log on to actionnewsjax.com for your First Alert weather information 24 hours a day. Time now, 7:21. Time for your First Alert traffic.
Thanks, Garrett. Let's take a look here at the FDOT traffic cam on the 295 East Beltway. This is at the Southside Connector. We're giving this a green light ride, but of course you can see the sun there, so you probably need to pull out the shades. Now let's go to the map and take a look at the travel time on the Southside Boulevard southbound. This is near Phillips Highway. You're moving at 34 miles per hour in that area. Now out in McClenny on US 90, you're moving at 35 miles per hour, so it's busy in that area as well. Now in Mandarin on the West Beltway southbound, this is 43 miles per hour. This is approaching 95. I'm Julie Morgan with the very latest from the Safe Touch Security First Alert Traffic Center.
2 Florida cities are among the best in the country for staycations. That's according to WalletHub.com. It considered 20 factors involving recreation, food and entertainment, rest and relaxation, and weather. Tampa came in at number 8. Orlando followed at number 9. Buffalo, New York took the number 1 spot. WalletHub.com. I'm never going to believe another word you say. Jacksonville came at 75th, but really, I mean...
Is that because of all the snow in Buffalo? You're forced to stay in vacation?
You get into a lull with a lack of vitamin D.
I'm sure it's beautiful there. I'm sure.
It is. Summertime, it's gorgeous.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Still to come here this morning, keeping teenagers out of trouble this summer. The 2 programs kicking off this month to put teens to work and teach them life lessons.
Water dangers, the alarming rise in drownings in our area.